If you haven't seen a Pidgey in real life today, it might be time to go outside. Route 1 isn't the only place that's littered with pudgy little birds. And that's why we're entering the tall grass to continue our research on discovering the similarities between our world and all existing Pokémon. So is the Pidgey family really based on pigeons? Are they a bird conglomerate? Or perhaps even the god of the sky? When I look at a Pidgey, there's no doubt in my mind that it certainly is one. I'm like, yep, that's a Pidgey alright. The English name comes from a combination of the words pigeon, like the common bird, and either pudgy, implying he's a plump little guy, or budgie, like the common parakeet. In Japanese, Pidgey is pronounced Poppo. This is by far the best translation I've heard so far. In Japanese, Poppo is also the word used to imitate the sound a pigeon makes, similar to how we say coo coo. So Pidgey's name is just a pigeon sound. Adorable! Pidgeotto is a combination of pigeon and the German aviation pioneer Otto Lilienthal, who was famous for building gliders before the Wright brothers. From pudgy to pilot, talk about a glow-up. Since Otto was on the right path, but not quite there yet, it's fitting that Pidgeotto would use his name as it's only the second evolution. Pidgeotto's Japanese name is just Pigeon, and you can probably guess that simply means pigeon. The final evolution in both English and Japanese is Pidgeot, which may be a combination of pigeon and jet. This is fitting considering that the Pokemon Yellow Pokédex entry states, this Pokemon flies at Mach 2 speed seeking prey. This means Pidgeot flies at twice the speed of sound, the exact same speed as an average jet plane. Since Pidgeot has a godlike ability of flying 1,534 miles per hour, maybe it has other divine qualities as well. Many of the first Pokemon we encounter have simple designs, so the player could focus on learning the rules of the game. I mean, it would be a bit alarming if the first thing we saw on Route 1 was a Magmar. But even though the Pidgey lineage is fairly simple, maybe there's more to them than meets the eye. And speaking of eyes, take a look at their black eye markings. I have to admit, I never thought anything of it until 18 years later when Mega Pidgeot was introduced. Having closer inspection of Mega Pidgeot, we can see some similarities to the Egyptian god Horus, with his falcon-like head, blue wing and tail feathers, and hair in the shape of the Egyptian crown known as the Sphent. Mega Pidgeot is certainly the Egyptian god of the sky. Horus's role as a sky god is often symbolized by his falcon head, with his right eye representing the sun and his left eye representing the moon, each with black markings around them. Since Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot all have the black eyeliner, maybe they were legendary Pokemon all along. I mean, come on. Nothing says legendary more than a pigeon, right? And you might be thinking, Professor Oren, Pidgey doesn't even look like a pigeon, and that's why we ended up getting Pidove in Generation 5. That may be true, but to that I say look at the Ruby and Sapphire Pokédex entry. Pidgey has an extremely sharp sense of direction. It is capable of unerringly returning home to its nest, however far it may be removed from its familiar surroundings, which implies it certainly does have ties to the infamous homing pigeon. Pidgey has even been shown delivering mail in the anime. Did you know that pigeons can really do this? Homing pigeons have a long history of domestication, dating back thousands of years. The remarkable ability to navigate and return home from over hundreds of miles away made pigeons invaluable to humans for communication, especially during both world wars when they were trusted to carry critical messages across enemy lines, when other forms of communication were dangerous. Pidgey had our backs. Nowadays, technology has become so advanced that we've lost the need for the homing pigeon's special moves, which has led to their gradual abandonment. The descendants of pigeon war heroes can now be found living in the cities and eating leftover sandwiches. Some people consider them pests, but I think it's a well-earned retirement. Despite their fall from grace, I did hear that a 16-foot-tall pigeon statue is being erected in New York City soon. We're so back, Pidgey! But alas, I can't help but agree with you that there's an obvious design difference between pigeons and Pidgeys. So it's time to bust out the binoculars and go birding in order to find out what the Pidgey family really is on Earth. But first, use Gust on that subscribe button. Did you know that there are approximately 11,000 species of birds on Earth? Pidgey has to be one of these, right? After studying every last one of these birds, I've narrowed Pidgey down to a few small, docile species. Let's discover them. The cute aggression is strong with the chickadees. Look how round and plump they are. These small but lively birds are known for their distinctive black-capped heads, cheerful calls, and curiosity. They're found throughout North America and thrive in a variety of habitats, from dense forests to suburban backyards. One of the chickadees' best abilities is that they can recall the locations of thousands of hidden food caches, which helps them survive harsh winters. Chickadees also have a unique way of communicating danger. They have a large range of calls that vary depending on the severity of the threat. Seemingly big brains for such a small bird. I think Pidgey and chickadees' similarities may end at a cute and plump. A less round bird you may also find at your bird feeder is the wren. These tiny birds are often characterized by their perky tails and can be found across the globe. Despite their size, wrens have loud voices and often sing complex and varied tunes that resonate through the woods. Wrens are also incredibly resourceful nesters. They construct intricate, dome-shaped nests using twigs, leaves, feathers, and moss. I think we're getting closer, but they're just not quite Pidgey enough for me. Now, the female rose-breasted grosbeak is a songbird native to North America that has subtle brown and streaked plumage. Now we're talking. These birds are often found in deciduous forests and gardens, where they feed on insects, seeds, and berries. I think the most Pidgey-like feature they have is their tiny brown and tan body with a large beak. Unfortunately for my research, males have black and white pattern with a vibrant rose-red patch on their chests, which is far from a Pidgey. But imagine if this was its shiny form. Missed opportunity, I think. The last species that I think resembles Pidgey the most is the Eurasian tree sparrow. They have a chestnut-colored head, tan chest, and distinctive black eye markings. These little friends are found all across Europe and Asia and are a common sighting in Japan. Interestingly, these sparrows have a unique courtship ritual where males bow and chirp energetically to attract females, often leading to lifelong bonds. Who knew Pidgey was such a gentleman? But now, Pidgey is evolving into a bigger bird that got a cool new haircut. Or should I say, feather cut. Birds love showing off their ridiculous plumage. So let's take a look at two species who may have inspired Pidgeotto and Pidgeot's interesting feathers. But first, it's biology fact time. Did you know hair and feathers are both made of the same material known as keratin? However, they look and work differently. Hair is only found on mammals and exists to keep the animal warm, while feathers are only found on birds and are much more complex. While they also keep birds warm, they are more specialized for flying with a central shaft and interlocking barbs, whereas hair is typically a simple strand. Okay, on to the fancy birds. First on the list is the waxwing. These perfectly manicured birds are named for the waxy red tips on their feathers, which resemble drops of sealing wax. Notice the black eye markings and reddish crest? It's very similar to Pidgeotto. Waxwings are known for their nomadic lifestyle and are always on the hunt for a good berry. In winter, when food is scarce, waxwings go crazy for rowan berries. These berries ferment in the cold and often cause the birds to become intoxicated. Pidgeotto, it's fine as long as you do it under my birdhouse roof. The other bird I wanted to discuss may be the fanciest of all. And although it looks nothing like the Pidgey family, cockatoos are known for their striking and vibrant plumage and are perfect wig models. This Australian bird can be almost any color, including red and yellow like Pidgeotto and Pidgeot's. These birds' plumage isn't just for show. It plays a crucial role in their social interactions and mating displays, where vivid colors and elaborate feather arrangements can indicate a healthy and desirable mate. Many birds have extravagant plumage and may have inspired Pidgeotto's long head feathers. They even seem to be trendsetters, since even humans can be spotted sporting the undercut hairstyle. Every time I see one of these guys in public, I get excited until I realize that they aren't a Pidgeotto. A bit of a letdown, I must admit. But at least they're representing our bird friends. Way to go! Moving on to Pidgeot, who is sometimes indistinguishable from Pidgeotto. The main difference seems to be Pidgeot's bird of prey look. Let's go out on a tree limb and dive 200 miles per hour into the final bird species that resembles a shiny Pidgeot. Renowned for its 7-foot wingspan, keen eyesight, and fierce hunting skills, the golden eagle is a majestic but fearsome raptor. This northern hemisphere bird of prey soars over mountainous terrains and uses its sharp vision to spot prey from miles away. Its prey is mainly mammals like rabbits, but it is also capable of taking down larger animals such as deer or goats by driving them off cliffs. Watch out, Skiddo! Due to the golden eagle's strength, agility, and beauty, throughout history, humans have often associated it with gods and kings. Did you know that in Greek mythology, the golden eagle was Zeus's sacred animal? It's said he would send his eagle to deliver his will or punish those who defied him. Once again, the Pidgeot lineage is among the divine. And now it is the will of the gods that we find out, who's that Pokémon? It's the Eurasian tree sparrow, a female rose-breasted grosbeak with fancy waxwing feathers, and the golden eagle. It's Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot in real life. Birds are often symbols of freedom, hope, and spirit. I think we had all three when we met Pidgey at the start of our Pokémon journey. If you like learning about these awesome birds, check out the Caterpie episode to find out how they deal with being the prey.